Hello guys, thank you for joining me again. Today I thought it would be a good idea to talk about something that seems to be going around in the news today. It's something that has rattled the stock market, shaken it to its core, made everybody, throw up their hands like, what the heck is going on? And of course, if you are in this time right now, you of course know what you're talking about. But if you watch this video later, what I am referring to is tariffs. We seem to be tariffing everybody. Seems like we are the Oprah of tariffs. You get a tariff, you get a tariff, and you get a tariff. I don't know. It's all over the place. But I saw that some people might not quite understand what a tariff is, and I felt I could try to elaborate and give you Tariff 101. This should hopefully give you an idea why some people like it, some people don't like it. You can decide which one you're on, which team you're on. Now, for a tariff, if you don't know what that means you're here for a reason, to try to get some kind of understanding. And I will try to explain for you. So I would try to tell a story to elaborate on what a tariff is. So please bear with me and hold on to your hats. Now, let's say, for instance, you have a company or you own a company, right? And you buy products from different areas, whether it's products in America, products internationally, to sell to the American people where you are. Now, I will talk first about the local. Now, if you are a company in America, you buy products in America, or you build products in America, and you sell products in America, tariffs are not exactly going to affect you as much. Now, of course, people in the comments might say, yes, it's going to affect, with the competition and different. Yes, there are a lot of things, but I'm just talking strictly about the product. If everything is done in America, tariffs might not affect you as much. Now, the issue comes around because in this day and age now, most companies are intermingled and go internationally all over the place to do business. Either they don't, the country they are currently in or currently functioning in does not have all the raw materials or the skill set to produce what they provide. Correct? So, for instance, if there's a rare metal for making phones, I don't think America has like a mining area that actually produces that rare metals. They might have to purchase it from areas like in Africa or Asia, different areas. So because they have to purchase it, they have to bring it into the country to be able to make their products, or they create factories in those countries to reduce cost of shipping and everything else. They do the calculations to know which one is more beneficial for them. So now, let's say, as our president has, puts tariffs, let's just use one country, let's use Canada, for instance. They put a tariff on Canada. Now, of course, the notion, some people believe that when you put a tariff on a country, that country actually pays those tariffs or incurs the cost of those tariffs. Now, I'm here to tell you that is incorrect. And hopefully I'll be able to explain to you why. Now, staying with our example, where if you're a company that imports things from Canada, let's say you import some product that you need to make your finished product and sell to the American people, you buy things from Canada. Now, let's say that product, that raw material you were purchasing cost you $5, right? So because it costs you $5 from Canada, excluding shipping, of course, we're not including the shipping or anything else like that. But even if we were, it costs you $5 and you bought it from Canada, cool. You had based on your market research and your sales price, you figured out a price to sell it for $20 to the American people. That is fine and dandy. Now, President Trump, as he has, put a 25% tariff, but I'll use 20 right now. Let's say the 20% tariff was put on for Canada for that product. That raw material fell under what should be tariff for 20%. Now, the thing that you were purchasing for $5 that included all the shipping and everything and the raw materials would, for easier math, instead of it being $5, you would now have to pay $6 as the company that is importing it from Canada. Canada doesn't necessarily pay the cost. Nobody in Canada really does at all. When you are telling Canadians, hey, I need that raw material like I did last time, they say, well, it costs $5. Because it's being imported into the country from the border, they inspect it, look at the cost. You now have to pay $6 for it because of the 20% tariff that is put on. Yes, tariff is a tax in a way. It is a tax. No matter how you want to look at it, it is a tax. The issue is who is paying for it. So because the company that is in America is paying the tariff, if it gets too high, they would probably have to find either other areas or other places or other locations that provide that raw product for them to use, or they might not be able to sell that product, lose customers because they don't have that product anymore. Those customers might go somewhere else to somebody that can. That price might actually be higher because even if that company can't, another company can make it, they might be getting it from the same place as Canada, which would increase prices. Some mom and pop shops probably can't handle the competition. They might go under. So there is a lot of things that go in when tariffs hit because it affects everybody. Now, I gave you the most simplest way tariff can affect. But the thing is, it's almost a cascading thing because if you tariff one thing, it affects multiple things usually. It's not just only going to focus on that. So for instance, you tariffed that product. Since they had to use more money to buy it, they probably have to now reduce their staff because they can't afford it. And they have to increase the price of that same product. If customers come in, see that product is higher, some might not want to buy it anymore, which will reduce your sales. There are a lot of things that happen when tariff goes about if it's just thrown in randomly. If it's not planned properly to try and ease people in, there might be a whole lot of chaos. Now, when other countries tariff the first country that tariffed them, it's the same effect, but just for their country. Now, when it starts happening and they start saying you're having a tariff war, basically you are excluding other countries from coming into your country to sell their products, which would, of course, reduce their GDP, their sales, and everything else. Each company is basically forcing their population, their people, to only buy their product. And right now, in this day and age, no one country makes every single thing that one country needs. You know, I mean, you hear tariffs about American bourbon. I mean, even liquor. I mean, wood, metal. It's all over. Everybody is intermingled. Everybody gets something that the other person needs, and that's how business usually runs. Even if you exclude international business and focus only in America, that's how most businesses run. Some businesses focus on one thing that they're good at, and then they sell to other companies that need that one thing so that they can make another thing. It goes on and on and on. Now, of course, if you want to go deeper into tariffs, feel free to Google search it, look at how things are, look at what the rates were before and how countries were intermingled and, you know, selling shit. It gets a whole lot more complicated than what I just said. But that's just the tariff 101. Long story short, what you need to know about tariff is whichever country increases a tariff on another country, it is basically restricting that country, or is making it harder, I would say, not restricting, but making it harder for that country to sell their products in the initial country that created the tariff, which could make the products in that country sell better. I know I said country a lot, so let me say it in this way. If America puts a tariff on Canada, it makes it harder for Canadian companies to sell their products to American companies because the cost would be higher to import it into America. Then that would make companies in America that sell the same product as the Canadian companies have more of a leverage to sell their products. So it's basically making it better for Americans, so to speak, to do business with themselves. But in this day and age, that's not how the world works anymore. I don't know. That was how it was when, you know, communication, transportation, and all these other things were very hard to do. But nowadays, I mean, People are flying all over the country, going on vacation. Ships are moving left and right. We are all intermingled. You can't go back into those days. America, in my belief, I do believe if we try to force ourselves to go into the manufacturing stage that America once was, it would not be well. Because the cost you'd have to pay Americans for a living wage to survive regularly in those manufacturing jobs would be too expensive for some of these companies. And those companies need a certain amount of margin, which is profit, for them to keep running. That means all the price would increase. Most Americans would reduce how much they buy. If they reduce how much they buy, that means the companies reduce how much they sell. If the companies reduce how much they sell, that means they need less workers. If they need less workers, people will get fired. It's a whole lot of stuff that would happen if it's not planned properly. So what do I say? Tariffs good, tariffs bad. They can help. They might not help. Depends on how you put them in effect. But hopefully you guys can understand you understood a little better about tariffs, why some people are in an uproar, some people are applauding it. And hopefully this helps you make a better decision on which side you want to pick, whether it's good or bad, or if you're just indifferent and, till it affects you, then you're like, oh, well. But thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you click on the subscribe button, click on the bell to get notified of the next video. And I will talk to you guys later about more money. Man, tariff. Sometimes I wish I could do my own tariffs, but hey, whatever. Talk to you guys later. Bye.